everybody. We're back after, I guess, a brief hiatus. My schedule's just been really messed up lately. Coronavirus stuff, and then I was going to stream yesterday, but PSO2 just came out, which is a game that I've been waiting to play for a long time, so I spent yesterday playing that instead of streaming. So we're back to our normal schedule. I mean, I'm going to say normal schedule, but odds are it's probably going to get fucked up somewhere down the line again soon anyway. But for now, streaming some more Red and Taxes, some Red Splash Death and Taxes tonight. This is the same list that I played the challenge with this past weekend to medium results. We ended at 5-3. I stopped streaming at like 3-3, and I played out the last couple of rounds. But on Sunday, Lily was getting anxious, being cooped up in the room with me, being the only person at home. So I managed to let her out. It's a lot more liberating for my free time if I'm not streaming the whole event. And since we were at 3-3, it was kind of underwhelming. But anyway, I do think that Pyroblast is extremely powerful right now. So I think this deck definitely feels better than when I was messing with the Blue Splash. Although obviously very different meta. Blue Splash would also look pretty embarrassing right now because there's a lot less like bullshit combo going on, a lot less Underworld Breach nonsense. Sup Moxel, sup Lackey, how's it going? We're just gonna get into some games. Let's just jam. I already started late because I am the only one home today, and I'm probably not going into work until the afternoon tomorrow, so my schedule's all fucked up, and it's all whatever. This deck is sick. I've been enjoying it a lot. Really enjoyed casting Pyroblast. Like, just all the red cards feel very good. Most of the red cards feel very good in this deck. Magus of the Moon, notably, is astoundingly mediocre. Definitely Daredevil is like a sweet card, but it's fine. I think it's good enough to play as like the one of fun of. Didn't I click on this tab? No? Yes? Maybe? There we go. But quit making Red and Taxes look good, so I don't have to buy Mesas and Plateaus. Yeah, that's my problem, is that I own 2 Plateaus, and this deck plays 3, and I don't own any Mesas. So I keep playing this deck, and I'm like, well, this deck feels pretty good, but like I don't want to buy a Plateau and replace it of Arid Mesas. Also, nobody owns 3. I own 2 Plateaus. I'm almost there. But I owned 2 Plateaus back in the day when like the Red Splash played like 3 to 4 Cavern of Souls for the Red Splash because you weren't casting non-creature spells. It was all casting like Magus and P and K. But now we're trying to cast Goblin Crater Maker and Lightning Bolt and Pyroblast and shit like that. So Cavern of Souls got a lot worse. So Potentia, someone who owns 4 Plateaus, do they just like own 4 of her duel? I don't know any other reason why someone would willingly obtain 4 Plateaus. What's wrong with the Cavern Goblin? It's a little bit worse in this deck. Hello, Ikodato? This hand is bad. Not great. George Kegel, big D&D player, middle one. That name sounds familiar. George Kegel. Anyway, this hand is bad. I don't want to look at it anymore. All right, this hand is medium. It's like fine. Is this deck good? Jury's kind of out on how good it is versus just normal traditional Death and Taxes, but I've been liking the fact that it has powerful tools. There's a lot of like Oko bullshit going on right now as the meta adapts to its post-breach world. So I've been liking the additional tools to fight these Oko strategies. Whether or not it's worth it is always the question with Color Splashes. But anyway, yeah, this is definitely a keep. I think I want my stable mana, so I think we're going to ship this Wasteland. Just like Plains Mountain. Hopefully Magus is relevant versus my opponent, but we have like Stoneforge Daredevil. I don't think Wasteland is where this hand wants to be. It's a possibility we're going to ship the Mountain, but then that makes our mana very loose because we like really have to fetch Plateau on to to try to do our thing. I think I'd rather. We're just playing as elves. We're gonna get smushed. Oh, maybe not. Could still be elves. But also, this opening could be a lot of other things, so. Also, with Knight Errant, good versus Oko. Yeah, but it's not good versus a lot of other things. Do we did pretend to be goblins? I don't see why not. Daredevil Glimpse. That is a choice we can make. They could potentially not be elves. They could be some sort of like Maverick or Depths-esque strategy. Oh no, they're just elves. Well, hopefully we rip some land so we can turn 3 Blood Moon them off of Cradle and then like turn 4 GTA them or something. Things certainly don't look good for our hero. I wonder if I'm supposed to actually put Crater Maker on turn. Depends on if we draw land. If we hit a 3rd land drop, then no. If we don't, then maybe. Because getting down the Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2 doesn't matter, right? Because the following turn we could like play the GTA, and then the following turn we could equip the GTA, but like that's the same with our Aether Vial. I guess that's the same, although we can do that with Crater Maker as well. Does it matter? How much does it matter? Crater Maker is definitely a notable, like, more important thing to have at instant speed. Or, like, more, like, reasonable shock value. Crater Maker now plays around main deck. Oof. That is true. Yeah, that's actually, like, a pretty relevant reason, honestly. If I played Stoneforge on turn 2, my opponent has just, like, land Green Sun. Collector Roof is just, like, a very reasonable thing to get. So, yeah, I actually like that argument a lot. Can't even escape playing Engineer IRL. I guess I could be just fetching non-basics, couldn't I? Although I have a Magus, so maybe not. We really want to hit 3rd land here so we can pop the Crater Maker and, like, Stoneforge plus GTA. We can fetch a Plateau to keep up the guys that we are, in fact, goblins. Fetching the basic planes is definitely throwing some signals that we are not, but I think this Magus, if we get to that stage of the game, might actually be relevant. So having access to white mana, probably pretty important. Rather than, like, just trying to, like, outthink myself playing some, like, weird mind games with my opponent. Quarian Ranger. That doesn't do a whole lot right now. Because they don't have a mana thing. Theoretically, makes them keep a blocker for Lackey. I mean, like, it's elves. They're not, like, hitting me for chip damage. Like, I don't think they're terribly concerned about playing around Viled Lackey. So yeah, they're actually just kind of down on mana a little bit here. Which is definitely interesting. Assume this Elvish Reclaimer is just getting activated for a Cradle. So we really want to just rip a land off the top. So we can moon my opponent. That is not a land, and it's also, wow, that's just really bad. Oh, just in a lot of ways, huh? We could Mom plus activate this Crater Maker if we wanted, plus Vial in the Stoneforge. I think we might, yeah, I think we need to activate Crater Maker more than we need to, try to get the GT online here, because I'm more concerned about trying to manage my opponent's ability to produce mana, via Cradle right now. If I just tap out for Stoneforge and play the GT here, there's a good chance they just get grab Cradle and kill me. Because they just passed with 2 mana up after like casting a free Quarian Ranger. So I think I would rather play Mom, say go, and just Vial in the Stoneforge and grab GT afterwards and leave with the ability to pop this Crater Maker. Yeah. I'm gonna kill something to start. I'm gonna let them either untap or like activate the Reclaimer in the end step first, and then probably just pop the Quarian Ranger. I don't think I'm super concerned about the Elvish Reclaimer. But obviously I can't pop the Quarian Ranger right now because they have the Pendlehaven up. If they go to their untap, then I'll just have to pop the... Or they won't go to their untap, though. They definitely have to activate this Reclaimer, right? Otherwise, they just don't get their Cradle. So now they grab Cradle, and then we'll pop the Quarian Ranger here to try to... Although they did get rid of their only Forest. I think the Quarian Ranger is probably still scarier than the Reclaimer. This gives them 3 mana. Pop the Vision. Nah, I think the Quarian Ranger is most likely to slow them down. I don't think this Reclaimer is super concerning, especially because we have, like, Mom. They could potentially have, like, Reclaimer... Nah. I'm just gonna shoot this. They have, like, Reclaimer Dried Harbor shenanigans in future turns to try to, like, prevent me from getting GT counters. But I think we're fine on that front because we have the Mom and stuff. Dried Harbor's still green under a Blood Moon, right? It just becomes a green 1/1 Mountain Dryad. Yeah, because there's no reason that Magus would change colors because lands are inherently colorless. That's scary. But it means that they're probably tapping their Cradle here. Oh man, we could Dire Fleet their Glimpse. Oh, they haven't made their land drop yet, so they could, if they find like another Cradle or something, we could be in for a real bad time. Well, there's a second Quarian Ranger, but if they don't have a mana thing yet, so it's like it doesn't produce mana. I need them to stop so we can Blood Moon them. Although we... Ow! Maybe that was actually a reason to try to go for the Reclaimer. Reclaimer gets them out of getting Blood Mooned. Because they can act slowly, like, go get a Forest. Or if they had, like, a Quarian Ranger here, we could easily just, like, moon them out of this game. After they sacked their basic Forest to go get the Cradle, maybe we actually should have popped the Reclaimer. This turn is most likely just going to be cast... GT and file in the Magus. Sorry for all the noise. Lily has finally discovered that there's a toy in this room. Alright. I guess we'll just moon my opponent here, and we get to put in this GT after. It'll take them a little bit to get the Forest online, but then I think we can get a GT counter with the Mom, so maybe we can do something. Yeah, gonna moon my opponent here. We got a basic plan, so we just activate. Mooned! To kill it because it's the beefiest. So yeah, I wasn't super concerned about that because I don't think I really cared about it being extra big. But I think the planning on mooning them the next turn moon is actually very solid. Did not think about that line. I was a little scared because Quarian Ranger is like definitely more powerful in a vacuum because Reclaimer is really, really slow. But Reclaimer is definitely one of the cards that gets them out of this current board state. But not before we take down some elves. That doesn't do anything right now. Yeah, we'll equip to the Magus pro green attack for 2. Seems fine. And Violent Recruiter, go get maybe Prelate on 4 to beat Anno. I know, they're a little far away from casting Anno, luckily, as well, so. Let's pro green the Magus. Recruit a Crusader, yeah, that's another option. Depends on what exactly I'm concerned about losing to. We're just going to pop the Symbiote and the Quarrying Ranger here. I wonder if they'll pick up the Visionary. So they're definitely going to crack their Pendlehaven or something. They might actually crack the Cradle, because there's no way for them to get the Magus off the board game 1. So cracking the Cradle might actually make more sense. Because they're more like, they only have the one Pendlehaven, whereas they could draw more Cradles. Alright, we got GT counters. Let's pop the Symbiote. And we'll pop the Ranger, because the Ranger plus the Forest will produce double green for them. Yep, activate the Reclaimer. They do sack the Pendlehaven. I don't think that's correct. Yep, they grab the Forest. Right, and then we'll pop the Quarrying Ranger. So they can't produce double green. Billy, get out of that trash can. Yeah, that's the card I was scared of. Luckily, like, Eno doesn't do it here, because they'd also have to, like, tap all their creatures for it. If they have, like, a Glimpse turn, then they can maybe do something. Uh-oh. This is what we didn't want to see. Was Heritage Druid to just, like, fucking murder me. I need them to not have an untapper, or, like, more Niddle Sentinels. They're running low on green. Don't know why they tapped their Cradle. Is this a Green Suns for 1? What does this get? It gets, what, Wirewood Symbiote? Birchlore Ranger? Oh, yeah. Either one of those would do, right? I think Wirewood Symbiote makes... No, Wirewood Symbiote doesn't tap itself, so you have Birchlore or Quarrying Ranger. They haven't played a land this turn, so that untaps and produces them 4 mana. I don't know if they can Eno me from here. They can certainly cast a lot more spells, which is terrifying. Like, the Crater Hoof still doesn't kill me, because they'd have to tap all their creatures for it. They could Green Sun for, like a Reclamation Sage at this point. Yeah, I know for Rec Sage wouldn't be that bad for me, as long as they stopped fucking drawing cards. Because we get Stoneforge for Sword of Fire and Ice to at least start picking some stuff up. Yeah, this is what I was definitely worried about. Hoof still doesn't kill me because all their shit's tapped. Oh, that's a lot worse. Hoof might kill me now? Oh, that costs them a mana, though, so they can't natural order right now. I need you to stop casting spells, please. Problem is now they have way too many things. We need to stymie them on mana. I think we could potentially still... I mean, assuming we don't die this turn, we might be able to recruit... we might be able to recruit Sanctum Prelate, put Prelate on 4, and use the GT to kill off the Heritage Druid. No, they could pick up the Heritage Druid with the Wirewood. which could also be problematic because then they could just hold it in their back pocket, so we can't answer it, and then like cast a hard cast hoof or a green sun for a hoof. Are we dead yet? No, not yet. Still, they still need to like. D&T versus test casting probably one over game 1, 2 easy, not close. Just always 2. This is why I hate relatives. I mean, I know they fucked up this game. I think I could have won this game if I just popped the other guy. What's the Reclaimer? It was definitely on me. So now do we die? Still no, because everything is Summoning Sickness. They need something that untaps more. Yeah, alright, now I think we're dead. Because now they have 4 mana, and they can untap one of their creatures, and they have like 8 million in play. The Burslar Rangers finally got them to the 5 mana flashpoint. Now they can just untap like their Elvish Reclaimer NO, get plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's definitely lethal. It's like 28. I got 3 toughness. But Sudden Demise. Sudden Demise would be a good card in this matchup, that's for sure. Are they just like trying to hardcast a hoof? What's happening? You got 7 mana. That's a lot. I don't know what you're missing with 7 mana. Just gonna like cast some more things. Cast they returned to like a Visionary to their hand, right? Yeah. Cast a Visionary, sure. I should just F6 at this point because we are dead. Even if they let me untap, we're not winning this game anymore. They have definitely way too many cards in play and in their hand. There we go. Hardcast. No, Hardcast stuff doesn't do it now. Alright, I am in fact F6ing because we are just dead. Also, it'll give me a time to on F6 when they go to combat, right? Mana. Wildborn Preserver. They made a real big Wildborn Preserver. There's the Rex Sage, sure. Hang on, what if they Rex Sage my file? You never know. They might actually Rex Sage the Vial because they like win this turn. They want to play around me like wisping out one of their not summoning sick guys. They are Rex Saging the Vial. That makes sense. Hey Lily, calm down. Lily thinks it's playtime. It's definitely not playtime. I'm a violin in my room. If I had a Flicker Wisp, I would have Flicker Wisp your fucking basic forest. 9 like, on my end step opponent. I don't know. I mean, I guess play it safe. Maybe I fucked up real bad, but like that's if a motorcycle in my room, yeah, something like that. I'll grab Flicker Wisp when this game's over. They're exaging the vial because they're going to kill me and they just want to make sure. Does the hoof just lead the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, fuck. Okay. Green Sun for 1 to get an untapper plus Natural Order should do the trick then. I think they got a Metal Sun? Sentinel? Wait, what did they get? I don't even know what they got. Quarian Ranger, yeah. They're tapping this thing, and then they're gonna NO and hit me with 2 big dudes. Hey, they did it. Yeah, definitely fucked up that game real bad. Did not think as far ahead as the Reclaimer to get through getting mooned. Some large creatures. What if I just had like How to Plow in my hand the whole time? Could survive this turn, but then I'm just dead anyway because they just have 900 creatures in play. So not like Plow would actually do something. All right. We get very little in the way of this matchup. I guess we have some Crab Digger's Cages that aren't bad. Do I want 3 mana Shock in this matchup? I probably want 2 mana Lightning Bolt in this matchup. Daredevil probably sucks. It gets their like abrupt decays, but that's bad. Lily, get out of the trash can for the 5th time. We could also potentially burn in the Council's Judgment as an answer to like Progenitus and stuff. Cut this Batter Skull, cut this P and K. It's a 1 mana shock off of Vial. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. This is 60. We could board in Council's Judgment over something. Magus actually pretty reasonable. Roger, Crater Maker, Stoneforge all good. These cards are all good. I think we just die to Progenitus, and that's just kind of the life we live. Having our 1 advance in our deck to try to beat their host PSO2. It's very fun and also incredibly confusing. I don't understand it. Because it's a Japanese MMO that's been going for like 8 years, and they just crammed a bunch of the content into this 1 release in America. There are just so many things that I don't understand about the game. Yeah, this seems fine. Alright. This hand does not cast my red spells. It does have a Plow and a Phyrexia Roger and a Cataclysm. I think on the play you actually just want to Stoneforge your opponents, because they're less likely to actually be able to stop it if you have like Stoneforge plus the thing. And also we have 2 uncastables. Alright, let's see how it looks better. We got Cage, Plow, probably not this Flicker Wisp, because we don't have Vial, so this Flicker Wisp gets a lot worse. So we got like turn 1 Cage, Plow, hopefully some lands to recruit her Crusader. This is a keep. Yeah, bottom of the Wisp. So do we punish for fetching the Mesa? Not really, but we'll see a reason to either. If we find another land, we might want to try to like play around our Magus by finding a basic plains, but I would definitely like find Plateau right now. Green Sun. Dang, unlucky. Hey, we found a plains. I think I would rather port this Bayou than plow their Quarian Ranger. Is that wrong? They don't have a mana producer right now, so it does like let them pick up their Bayou and replay it. And our next turn we are going to probably want to cast a 3-drop. There's a world in which we like plow and port next turn if they play something really scary. I think I'm just going to port and see what happens. There are definitely juicier targets than Quarian. Quarian Ranger is a good plow hit, but there are better that exist. Namely, what's that? The stupid insect. Heritage Druid can be very scary. Yeah, that one. That one right there. So now we could potentially plow the Heritage Druid and port the Cradle if we wanted to. Which we probably do need to do because Guy's Cradle is just insanely scary, and I don't want to deal with it. We'll fetch. toe here. Kill this scary card. What are we looking for here? This game is just really awkward because we kind of need to try to deny their scary burst turns, but we also need a moment to actually like tap low to cast our spells that try to win us this game. Bayou, pick up Bayou, cast Birchlow Rangers. Well, that's concerning. Cast a Green Sun Zenith. This is pick up Bayou, untap Birchlow, or decay the cage or something. This doesn't really matter which one you untap. And the Court Ranger could attack if they don't want to make more mana. What is our best draw here? Probably just like Wasteland and then like GT. Just like really nuts draw. Oh boy, more Heritage Dreads. Big fan of. Should have registered Cunning Spark Mage. Yeah, what fool I was. Should have registered Blazing Volley or Sudden Demise. Alright, so if we tap out here, we just die. Because they have 9 trillion mana. They already have 9 trillion mana. But I think if I don't board this Cradle, then I just lose this game. So I think I have 2 lands for the remainder of the game. Try our Cataclysm, that'd be kind of nice. Just to see if they have nothing. I don't know if I have the luxury of assuming that. Like, what am I doing this turn if I'm not tapping down the Cradle and trying to, like, fade? Decay plus something? Nope, just more Visionaries. Stop drawing cards that draw cards, please. Draw a bunch of Green Sun Zeniths and Natural Orders. And then never draw an answer to my Grafdigger's Cage. Sure. Just how serious is the red-white thing? More serious than blue-white. Really wish you would stop casting Elvish Visionaries. Incoming Wirewood Symbiote. You're gonna fucking bury me. Cast a Natural Order. What could go wrong? Natural Order for Hoof. It's so much damage, opponent. Ah, fuck. Actually, just the Wirewood Symbiote. That's not a hard decision. Cast your spell that just draws you 90 more cards. Cast I know to Rexade to clear the cage. Yes, that's the good play. Or yeah, there's no way. We already lost this game. They have a Wirewood Symbiote and 3 Elvish Visionaries and a Heritage Druid and an El Sentinel. We have absolutely lost. Unless we could draw a Cataclysm. I wish they drew 90 more cards. Yeah, I could go with 46, but 90 is a good number too. Not even Decay the Cage, sure. They just like attack me down at this point. They just drew so many Cyclers in the face of my Grafdigger's Cage. Alright, so We have 2 cards in hand, so I guess we just Recruiter for Stoneforge and play Stoneforge. Can't actually technically get through with the GTA unless we had Crusader in play. Recruiter like Revoker doesn't do anything, obviously. We could Recruiter and Port the Cradle. They already have 9 jillion mana, though, and they're gonna draw infinite cards next turn with the Symbiote and the Visionary. Play Crusader, hope to naturally draw GTA. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a Hail Mary line. Because we Recruiter Stoneforge, we don't get the GTA online for like another 2 turns. That's probably the something along the lines of why they cast the Abrupt Decay there, to just buy them a little bit more time in case I try to get this GTA online. So maybe the Hail Mary sort of, like, even Sword of Fireness would be okay, like shooting 2 things, drawing 2 cards. Yeah, Hail Mary Recruiter plus just Port the Cradle is not bad. Or Hail Mary Crusader does a Recruiter. Whatever. But also, again, we could just draw the Cataclysm. Wouldn't be opposed. Yeah, they're gonna pick up the Visionary. Didn't they delay? Did they delay tax season by 90 days? I mean, I guess that would make sense. I haven't done my taxes yet, though. I should. Kill me, opponent. Or cast Natural Order. I'll take either, and they're going to cast Visionary. One of the worst things is that this Elves player in particular is playing very slowly, which is just really just draws it out. Because we're just like, we've been dead for 3 turns, but they're just like, oh god, do I cast? I got 3 Visionaries in hand. Do I cast this Wirewood Symbiote? Is that the line? We'll just draw, they'll brick here, and then we'll top deck Umezawa's GTA, and then they'll die. And they will probably actually just kill me through that, but... You know, main deck Sword of Light and Shadow? Wow, what is it? 20... I can't even... I was gonna say a made-up year, like just a year that like main deck Sword of Light and Shadow was a thing. That just never has been a thing. There's no world... Like, Miracles meta was also not a world that you main deck Sword of Light and Shadow. They also have Coder. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen Maverick with Light and Shadow. I don't know why, but those have existed. It eludes me why they've existed, but they're there. Why are we still sitting here? I don't know. My opponent is just like playing glacially, and I'm just talking to chat. Is Red White D&T infinitesimal going against Elven Career? Yes, I would say that Red White would be very slightly better against Elves because of Magus of the Moon, and your sideboard paths are instead lightning bolts. And you get a couple of extra cards like Goblin Crater Maker, which just have a little bit of extra creature interacting elements. Oh, thank God, are we dying? Are they gonna hoof me? They have exactly 4 mana, and they have 2 not summoning 6 untapped creatures. Just cast NO. Oh, they're untapping one. They can deal me even more damage, just in case. How many gift subs would it take you to change avatars? Permanently change avatars? I don't know. I like having my shiny avatar. Yeah, we legitimately had game 1. I'm not complaining about like, Elves unwinnable matchup. Because I definitely fucked up game 1. I think I could have definitely won that with more tight play. They're not killing me, they're just gonna cast more spells. I'm more complaining because they have 4.5 minutes on the clock and we're at game 2. And there's like a good 5-10 second pause between like every single game action. Forever? I don't know if I'd ever do that. I like it. I like being one of the only 40 people that have this avatar. 38. Did the people that didn't play in the championships get their avatar anyway? Because 2 people didn't play, right? It's Daryl Ayers and Zach Allen, I think. Never used mine. So even less, 37, I think. If I did my math right, I think there were 38 in the event. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would assume that everyone's got one. I don't know if the two people that didn't actually play in the event got theirs, but since it wasn't tied to the event, it just showed up in our accounts later. I thought it was going to be tied to the event. I don't remember modding you, so I'm gonna assume by the color of your name that you are Yaz Hooch Bazooka. And based on the fact that you always come into chat and say good luck with games. Oh, there we go. There's a natural order. We can concede they did it. Do your sub graphics still work? What, the little like pop-ups? Or like the little things on the sidebar? The little 6-month icons. Hey, they did it. They found lethal with 3 minutes left on the clock. Little pop-ups, I think they work. There's like a test button for that somewhere. Can I redo? And let me redo a follow notification. Yeah. Yeah. They should work. Yeah, no problem. I don't know why I popped it twice. I did not click that twice. Thanks for the follow 3 days ago, the Venom Pool. Hey, Negator, thanks for the gifted sub to Goblin Lackey. Appreciate the gifted sub. One, I will say, the number of gifted subs that needs to be for me to change my icon is not one. I don't have a number to put on the number of subs, but you're free to continue gifting them and figure out what the number is. Gotta start somewhere, yeah. Indeed. Our opponent is Angers. I'm Angers at this hand for being bad. Subbed with Amazon Prime, is that different than the $4.99 sub? No, it's the same thing. In terms of for the streamer, it's the same thing. It just looks a little bit different in my notifications. It'll say Twitch Prime sub versus sub to tier 1 or whatever. I think it's good enough. We have like, I hate, especially on the play. I really don't love the thermometer revoker curves. Hey, Nikita, also thanks for the gift sub to Basic Swamps. Appreciate it. Prime gives me slightly more. Maybe it gives me slightly more money. I never look at the money that this channel makes. It's not 2. The number's not 2. You are getting closer. Objectively, you have to be getting closer. You're getting closer to the number that makes me change my icon forever. But it is. Being honest, it's the number 77. How much money would that be? It's like, what, 5 times 77? Although technically, in terms of money that I make, it's like, what, half that or some shit? Basic 4, oh god. Don't do it. Don't do this to me again. Oh, thank god, not elves. What the fuck is Forest Go? What the fuck is Ixalan Forest Go mean? It means I port this rather than playing Frankenberger, I'm pretty sure. I think this person plays lands. Enchantress. I mean, those could be a lot of things. Hey, Patrick, thanks for the 98 bits. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is just a poor Go turn. I don't think I'm gonna blind or evoker into a basic Forest Go turn. Get some extra information out of him here. We need crop rotation. Seems like a wild thing to just fire off on a turn 1. Oh. Seems like a wild thing to fire off on your end step. Is this like colorless or green post? Yeah, green post. Okay, so this is a crop rotation. Well, yeah, I've don't know why they didn't cast that main phase, but they can go for it. Oh, because they want to hold the crop rotation, I guess. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I was about to port that right now for some reason. All right, and port this. We got a Wasteland and Rashad port, so we're looking pretty good. Just find our Magus of the Moon here. Use the Wasteland a post and port another post and attack him with a mom. Die. Attack you. I wonder if I was actually supposed to cast the Revoker this turn. We have a lot of land, so I'm like not super keen on it. Revoker doesn't hit a lot in this matchup either, but that was definitely like the point. They don't have a lot of stuff to do on 2 mana. But they do have stuff to do on 3 mana, so the porting is definitely important this turn. What are the activated abilities to name in this deck? Expedition Map? It's like it. Okay, so yeah, I think I was supposed to cast the Revoker the previous turn when I put them down to just the Cloud Post. You subbed? I don't see a sub. You do have your subscriber icon still. Second port. Am I supposed to double port now? Probably. Get 5 cards in hand. If I single port them, they're still on Rejuvenator mana. Yeah, we might just need to cast Flicker Wisp. We need more of a clock. We need to let them Rejuvenator and then start double porting once we actually have like a board state. Yeah. Supposed to pour the Cloud Post, right? Yeah, then we got a Glimmer Post and have a bigger burst of mana here. Luckily, with like double port and wastelanding at Cloud Post, we can take them down. Whoa, Ancient Tomb. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. I guess I cast this for Extra Revoker. 50-50. I should attack for 4 first. Just in case they win the coin flip. Boom pile looks pretty good to me. There's a chance. Oh, wow. Flipping it now. Come on. Yes, they lost the flip. We did it. Skill game. This is why we were saving this Revoker, so we could name Boom Pile. Duh. Come on, chat. Catch up. I should have played the Rashad board that turn. Am I supposed to still board the Cloud Post in case they have Glimmer Post? You can just revoke Post and they'll never win the flip. So like we said, we just board the Ancient Tomb because it is just a Cloud Post if they have a Glimmer Post, but it does deal them damage, which is important because they are at 11. But if we port this, they have 4 mana. They could be in danger. Yeah, I think this ports them off of more mana. I mean, it obviously does port them off of more mana, but the more cases where porting this Ancient Tomb feels relevant to me. This is the first time I've revoked a Boom Pile. Yeah, this was the punish for porting the Tomb. I think this is the exact same amount of mana. And they don't have to pay 2 for it. But now we get to port Ancient Dream and Cloud. Whoa, isn't that scary? If they grab like a Phyrexian Revoker, I guess it is pretty scary. Can't do anything about it, so sure. But did I say Revoker? Ballista? I'm not paying a lot of attention today. Grab a Ballista, yeah, that's bad. Time to lose this game. Time to draw a second Phyrexian Revoker and win this game. Like a skilled magician. Unlucky. Can't even get any equipment online because there's a Karn in play. We're gonna get super ballisted at this game. So I guess we just Stoneforge, hit the Karn for 3, hit them for 3, double port them. Make the ballista as small as possible, but we're pretty vulnerable to the boom pile at that point. Statistically vulnerable to the boom pile, I guess. You put Sophie on something? No, we can't. We have 6 mana. And also there's a Karn in play. Should I have sent everything a Karn to play around Crop Rotation for Mazavith? Post-combat? Oh yeah, we still can't do that. And that's probably even worse because it just gives them a bunch of mana anyway. What am I supposed to grab with this Stoneforge Mystic? It's probably Batter Skull? Because we need something to rebuild post-boom pile? Yeah, that's true. We can't be Maze. I want to make this ballista as small as possible. So they're less likely to be able to boom pile me. The fuck? They're playing some serious shit Cloud Post. The realest of deals. This is the Dryad then. It's like Dryad, Primeval Titan, Cloud Post. Miss! Oh, they won the flip. Unlucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we have 7 mana, we can still Batter Skull and port the Cloud Post? That's like okay. Why did they ping the ballista and then activate the boom pile on their own turn? Is there something they get punished by? Because I feel like if they would have wanted, if they had missed on the flip, Christ, they're letting me untap. They're letting me pick up the Batter Skull. Although I guess I don't know if they're actually going to. They also didn't play the Valakut and just didn't hit a land drop. I guess they want to play Dryad and just use it as a lightning bolt. Wow, is this? Wow, this is the tech. Because if I pick it up and they miss, I just get time walked. I think I just have to leave it in play. This is the coward test. They lost the flip. Got him. Easy game. Calculated. So now we're just obviously not going to add to the board, and we're probably just going to cycle the Sunbaked Canyon. Which I should have played a long time ago in case we drew something like that Rashawn Port. So the life total didn't matter. Miss. Yes, they lost the flip. Eat it. they're dead. Wait, if they have 2 lands, they can bolt my germ down. No, they have 2 lands, so I can bolt my germ down. Dicks. They're not dead. God, if I had just actually played that Sunbaked Canyon out earlier so I could have cycled it and drawn the port this turn, then they would actually be dead. So I guess the play is waste my Batter Skull and dodge the Boom Pile flip? Or dodge the Boom Pile hit? It's like my only line here. Who can equip it? That seems like not the winning line. I guess if they have a line, they just bolt a Wisp and they can chump block the Batter Skull and buy themselves more turns. So Wisp holding a Batter Skull and then missing the Boom Pile flip and having nothing in hand is the only way we win this game. That might actually be correct. They need no cards in hand. And they need to miss this Boom Pile flip. Yeah, that might be the only way we win this game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so we have exactly enough to play Wisp and equip the Batter Skull to get it out of... Even that line loses to double bolt, right? It loses to 2 lands in hand. So we can't have their hand be 2 lands, but we also can't have their hand be an action spell. Yeah, we need them to just have a bunch more Dryads in hand. They're not a Chalice deck. They're Propertition and Ancient Stirrings. They're not like the Chalice version. This is like some weird green post version. So, like, I don't even know what they could have in their hand that lets us win this game. In addition to them losing the 50-50 on the Boom Pile. Candelabras. I don't know if this deck can play Candelabras. This deck can afford to play Candelabra. I mean, I don't think we're making any other lines. I think this is the life we have chosen to live, right? Just bounce a recast. That doesn't get... Oh, hang on. Yeah, that would get through the Dryad. I mean, we're not going to win anyway, but that probably is better. It's worse if they do have more Dryads, though, right? Because if they have more Dryads, we still don't have lethal. If they have the second Dryad in hand. Because the second Dryad in hand is one of the only cards we beat. So I think we need to play towards the hands that we can beat, right? I think the Dryad is a one-of. Be kind of ambitious to play a one-of with Valakuts in your deck, right? It also is just a 2/4 that has Exploration. So it's, like, not the worst. I mean, I think we're just, like, sitting and dwelling on a decision that doesn't matter because I'm going to lose this game. Man, these main deck Boom Piles are pretty brutal. 50% of the time, I guess. They need their hand to somehow be nothing that wins the game, and then they also need to lose this Boom Pile flip. Now we play the waiting game. Put like a plow in our hand. Hey, Negator, thanks for the third gifted sub to Romario. Miss. Oh, they won. Alright, we lost. 3 is still not the number. They did have a second Dryad. There's a chance we could have won if they missed the Boom Pile flip tilt. What the fuck does this prelate go on? I mean, it doesn't matter because it's just getting lightning bolted by any land, but... 4? What does 4 even hit? I wouldn't play it. What do we wait? What are we holding it onto it for? I guess it doesn't like win us this game. Karn. That's fair. Karn does work. Yeah, it doesn't actually attack for lethal. We could draw like a sword wouldn't do it, but you know. I'm actually just gonna pour their green sources, I think. They're a 4 life. Oh yeah, they're all green sources, you're right. There's a Dryad in play. Doesn't just have Valka text. Wow! We actually could have won if the boom pile didn't flip. They only have Dryads! Tilt. So yeah, all their land stat for everything supporting the Ancient Tomb is strictly correct because it has the ability to produce a burst of mana if they need it. I don't know what we're drawing to at this point. Their hand is probably just like lightning bolts, right? Flick off basic forest. Their hand is just colorless lightning bolts. I guess like P and K and try to produce enough bodies to go around it. Probably could play this Aether Vial a while ago. So I was supposed to plow one of these Dryads? Maybe. Crop rotation for a 2 lightning bolts, and then play a land for 2 more lightning bolts. Alright, they got me. More plows, please. Alright, what the fuck do we board in this matchup? Lightning Bolt does not hit Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Cratermaker is maybe good. We didn't actually see them like, play any colorless permanents, but they usually have like needles and maps and stuff. Although Cratermaker's not exactly good at hitting maps. Like Needle's a pretty big one, and like they showed us Karns. Never mind. Yeah, Cratermaker's great. They showed us Karns. So this braid also comes in because Karn and Boom Pile. Guess there is a chance that you can hit the Boom Pile with the Cratermaker. That is correct. This Daredevil seems pretty horrendous. Bolt might be good enough. Yeah, Bolt might be good enough for like faces and Karns. Depends on what exactly all we're cutting. Hitting crop art is hilarious. Get wastelands. It's like kind of loose. Like we need to make a lot of room if we want to board in like bolts and shit. I think this P and K is probably just way too slow. The value plan is not exactly where we want to be. Thalia seems kind of reasonable in this matchup, honestly. They have a lot of like very clunky. The issue is that just like a shit ton of main deck boom piles is actually like super obnoxious against a very slow clock. Because it just is like statistically, you will probably wrath them in a couple turns. And it also just takes the vial with it. Probably afford to like cut Jite and like a Mystic against both Boom Pile and Karn. Is it Boom Pile one of? No, they played like 2 or 3 that game. They played at least 2. I forget if they played a third. Does this look okay? We could probably shave down the number of plows. I don't think attacking the Dryad plane is where we want to be, so I think I'd rather have bolts than plows, because bolts is better dealing with Karn, and better at dealing with my opponent's face. They're probably Primeval Titans in my opponent's deck as well, so sometimes you do want to play a Plowed Punch through that. I think this looks okay. This hand does not look okay. It in fact looks extraordinarily bad. Alright, we'll keep this even though we can't cast. Do we keep this? Do we keep 2 uncastable spells, bottom the Caracas, and just keep Plainsport Wasteland on a Multisix? They kept 7. Keep 2 uncastables and a Wasteland and a Rashadenport. Yeah, this hand's like probably what we want, right? Outside of a thing that actually helps us cast our spells, I think I actually am going to keep this. I'm much happier with the Plateau for obvious reasons, but you know, can't always get what you want. Yeah, there's their Needle. If only we could Crater make it! They need Wasteland though, we could at least port this turn. Crater make it in the future. Oh yeah, I didn't board out this Prelate. Should I have? Putting it on 4 is not bad, because it turns off Karn and Boomvile. Kind of into just casting this Prelate next turn. Hey, we drew a land. Could be relevant to get our Wasteland online. Probably on turn 4, though, right? We play the Crater Maker, pop the Needle on Wasteland, and we'll like Wasteland the Cloud Post or something. With the Prelate on 4 here, it does stop like Glimmer Post Boompile or Glimmer Post Karn. I don't know how many other scary things they have to cast on like that mana. So turn off my single Cataclysm, notably. Good thing to know, to be thinking about. Might actually just want to Thalia plus Port this turn. It's the same amount of mana as Crater Maker, pop. And Wasteland, and it gets more bodies in play. And gets like the Thalia attacks and going and stuff. So we'll get the Wasteland down now. And kill this. You know, like Spatial Contortion, my Prelate. We could also just play the Crater Maker and not pop it on the Needle yet. Pop the Needle yet. I think I'd rather play the Thalia though, because we're hitting a bunch of land drops, so we might be able to get to the point where we can do everything. That pause made me think that they do in fact have a removal spell. Crop rotation, sure. It's another Cloud Post. I guess that's a reason to get the Wasteland online instead of the Port. But we can do that next turn. That's a lot of mana. It's 5 mana, but they can't cast a 4-drop with it. They can't cast that Golos though. That's pretty bad for me. It's a lot of Cloud Posts you got there, opponent. Attack with the Thalia and bolt the Golos. They have near infinite mana. We can Wasteland one of the Cloud Posts, and that's it. And then they have, what, 8 mana? That's not great, is it? Things do not look good for our hero. We port green at this point. You're not wrong. If I just ignore the Cloud Posts, they have what, 12, 13 mana? But if they have like a single green source, they can just like Green Sun for something stupid. Whereas if we do the Wasteland plan, we take them down to what? 3, 6, 7, 8 mana, so they can still Green Sun for like a Primeval Titan. I think we're just dead. expert analysis. We did. Hey, Anomalous MTG, thanks for the follow. That's a lot of mana. 11? Sure. Opponent's deck is fucking wild. Alright, you have 8,000 Cloud Posts. Can we try Magus, please? That's so close to being Magus to the Moon. God damn it. Magus was so hilarious right there. Well, I'm going to cast my Recruit of the Guard and hope to God that they can't do anything with their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5 is 33 mana? Should have ported green. Yeah, what a fool I was. It's fine. They don't have anything to do with 30 whatever I said mana. We're just gonna grab this Magus of the Moon. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. They're definitely not gonna lethal me with a Walking Ballista. Did I do my math wrong? That's only 27 mana. I count my number of posts wrong? Oh, it's only 4 times. This is just I, and they're gonna ever me. Sure. It was only 4 times 6. I think I did like 6 times 6 or something, or 5 times 6. Alright, cool. We tried. Opponent had a interesting take on Mono Green Post, that's for sure. We are getting pretty thoroughly smushed today, in no small fault of my own. I definitely fucked up potentially game-winning fuck-up, game-losing fuck-ups in match 1 and 2. Where, like, I was, like, not playing out my Canopy Lane for no reason, like, my life total definitely didn't matter, and then I, like, played the Canopy Lane and cycled it and then drew another port, and then they had exactly enough mana to, like, do the Dryad double bolt thing. What are you doing over there, Lily? Oh, yeah, she's coming over here. What do you want, huh? You want pets? She wants pets. She always wants pets. She's a dog. Alright. Let's see if we can stop getting thoroughly whomped here. This hand is not the hand to stop getting thoroughly whomped with. This hand looks better, certainly. I'll put back the Flooded Strand. There's potential we want to fetch basic mountain depending on the matchup. So we could have kept 3 lands and put back like the Daredevil or something. Whenever I like put back a 3rd land on a multi-6 and like keep a hand with a bunch of spells, I just like, what is with the basic forests today? Come on! All 3 of my opponents game 1 have just led with forest bullshit. They've all been different decks, and of course my opponent probably on some sort of miracles bullshit with forest and Astrolabe, the most tilting start. I think we're just gonna like play Stoneforge. Lily, can you go away? You better 2 of them so they quit and never play their deck again. Oh, try our best. Are they just on like Bant Miracles? Lily, hey. Hey, no barking. Lily, quiet. Quiet. Shh. Turn check. Oh god. Like the 5, like the Mar pile? Jesus. Why is the Mars pile picking up steam? I hate it. Ah, yes. The classic blue mana base. Good old more tweets to send to the old Pleasant Kenobi. This is 100% to hit Batterskull Daredevil. Wow! Missed! I mean, now we can't cast the Daredevil because I didn't play the Mesa, but we got the Batterskull, which is pretty big. Opponent says never lucky in chat. Fuck right off. I have no sympathy for you, opponent. We're just gonna make the Batterskull. I think it's better than playing the Thalia here. They 100% have the command to play Thalia. I'm not playing the Thalia here. I'm putting the Batterskull. We're giving them the business. Him into K. Yeah, I hope all these people just queue into all the Veil of Summer decks immediately. Yeah, this is, let's see the Kolagon's command, opponent. Let's see your Kolagon's command. Oh, wow, shocker. Oh, Sazza Trophy. Yeah, that's okay. It's like not the end of the world for me. Let's go get like a mountain for my Daredevil. You potentially him my opponent. Yeah, I'll take that. That demo could have ended worse. Aw, yeah. Time to him to Turok my opponent. Do we do that? We could also Thalia Port this turn. And like him them later. They have 5 more cards in hand. Yeah, it's probably... I kind of want him to Turok my opponent. We'll fetch Plateau for this last one. So we can cast PNK, because that's a pretty big one in this matchup. Him, screenshot to show PK the mana we used to cast it. That's actually really funny. I gotta save this first screenshot if I want to do that. Before main deck Veil. Yeah, I'm gonna like, tilt off the earth when they Veil me after I him to Turok them. I will just tilt off the face of the earth. They're gonna fucking Veil me. Oh my god, they're gonna cast Brainstorm. God, I was gonna be so mad when they Veil summoned that. I was like 100% sure they were gonna Veil me after they finished. They discarded land. Nice. I hope those are the only lands they had. Yeah, if they failed off an island, I would have definitely taken a third screenshot. Just laughed all the way to the bank. No, we hit Underground Sea Misty Rainforest after they brainstormed. Oh, I forgot to say Never Lucky. Yeah, shit. I think hymning them was better than getting the Thalian play if we were getting him to that following turn. No, that's not the worst thing. Let them go to draw step here. Don't really care. They cast like a brainstorm or something. It's reporting these things. They don't have like fetch lands. Yeah, sure. Wow, Icefin Quaddle and Baleful Strix, huh? 4 Baleful Strix is just not doing it enough for my opponent. Yeah, opponents have been on some wild shit today. Gonna hit me for that one. Eventually. Hey, decks like that. Decks like this is yeah, absolutely. 5 color control that like can very easily beat like Blood Moons and Wastelands is absolutely an abomination on the format. Do I plow this Coatl? Is there anything juicier to plow? I obviously miss a damage here, and then I gain a damage by attacking with a Stoneforge this turn, but then immediately get bricked by the Strix the following turn, so it's probably better just to hold it. Also insulates me at least a tiny bit from like K commands if we draw an actual good card at some point. A Drew, thanks for the follow. It's probably just correct to send the Daredevil in. The Uro, yeah, I was about to say, there's probably like Uros, or we might need to like kill an elk at some point. Do I care about their draw step stuff now? They could like use the Bio plus the Astrolabe to cast a brain. No, they're just casting something right now, sure. This is a K command? Shock discard. So we can cast this Plow at least. Hey Lily, go lay down. It's not playtime right now. Is there a difference between plowing these two? Probably not. Plow Strix. Plow Coatl. They had like Dead of Winter in their deck, then maybe. They kick command back in his flash. That's actual reason. Yeah, that tracks. We want to exile the better one because I get fucking Plague Engineered on human. Could be very sad. Nice. That was a really bad K command for them. This is going to be a really good Plague Engineer for them, though. Put the fetch if you're worried about 2-mana removal, Mom. Wait, what? What would that do? Oh, and then activate the Mom in response to the fetch land, I guess? Yeah, that didn't seem very worth. Yeah, they would crack the fetch land, activate the Mom in response. You're right. Yeah. Well, Plague Engineer me. Cast more mistakes printed in 2019, perhaps. Oh, I shouldn't have 6. What the fuck am I doing? I have a Mother of Runes in play. Plague Engineer me. I will snap concede. Yes, make me discard this Arid Mesa. Please. Thank you, opponent. These K commands have been very bad for them, which is extremely good for me. Which probably means they're finally killing my mom here. Or, like, unhappy at killing my mom. They usually floated that. The last time they floated a mountain, or if they floated a red mana, didn't do anything. Port the red. Not that it really matters. You'd love to see it. You don't love to see that. Maybe they'll kick her at me again. Discard Shock Mom. Yeah, please. And then they're going to top deck Plague Engineer, cast off an Astral Aid, and then they're going to easily win the game. Holy shit! Did we do it? If I attack with everything, they have Snapcaster Mage. Do I lose this game in any way if I attack with all my creatures here? No, right? Oh, I should have ported first. But there's no single card that they can have that wins them this game if I attack with everything, right? Because if they have Snapcaster Mage, they don't die here. So I need to send everything. I should have ported them on my draw step. Just to make sure, but... They could have, like... They could only have one mana removal spell or a like, flash creature like Snapcaster Mage. And that's it. Yeah, I should have definitely ported on draw step, but... I'm pretty sure there's nothing that can that punishes this. They have one removal spell, they still die. They have a Snapcaster Mage, they still die. Yeah, we did it. Whew. Opponent is never lucky indeed. Assuming they don't have Sandstorm. Yeah, if they had fucking... I was gonna say Electrickery, but they didn't have enough mana to actually Electrickery me. I should save off this other screen cap. Yeah, I don't know what Sandstorm does, so I'm going to pretend that it doesn't exist. They could have had a 1-mana removal spell for my Thalia, and then... No, Gutshot wouldn't work, because it does require life. Green, 1 instant, deal 1 damage to each attacking creature. That would have punished me for not Rashad importing them, certainly. I like multiple opportunities to do it too. Like I just like went to combat without boarding them in my draw step or main phase. Probably just supposed to cut this Magus. How do I usually sideboard these matchups? Shave down plows because they don't really have a lot of plow targets. Shave down Thalies and Moms because Plague Engineers so fucking annoying. You're looking for Dire Fleet Daredevil's got a hyphen in it. I think. No, it's just a straight up space. Dire Fleet Daredevil. You can just like read the text a little bit. I don't want to sit here holding it up. We got a minute left to sideboard. We gotta cut what, 2 cards? Revoker and Revoker? Revoker and another Plow, maybe? Plows are pretty weak, I think. Not a whole lot of answers to Uro, though, if we go that far down on Plows. Pyroclast Blast, not exactly a real answer to Uro. Karaka's not a super good answer. We have, like, what, 1 Plow? And we're not boarding on our Rest in Pieces here, so... I'll probably just cut the other Revoker. I'd keep 3 Plows? We get to board in 2 Lightning Bolts, so notably Plow does get worse at just like the killing idiot creature plans. Yeah, they have Engineered like we have. We get bolts for those. We can rip against what K-Command, Snapcaster, Uro. We're on the draw. I'm actually just going to cut a second Thalia and call it a day. The same does not really have a 2-drop, but it's pretty powerful. Red sources in P and K, and mulliganing his Himbatrock deck sucks. I think I'm just going to keep this. We can draw something. Do you keep a lot of Moms against Plague in your deck? I usually shave them down. I think I shaved 1 and 2 Thalias. We're not getting him to Turok. Thought seized. Take our P and K. I'm just actually sure. Probably just casting GT. Daredevil Ponder or like a port. Lightning Bolt is not super useful here, certainly. This Umasawa's GT. Next turn we probably have like Daredevil Ponder, we have like Wisp Bolt. If they just have like turn 3 Oko or something, we definitely just need to like play Wisp and hold up a Lightning Bolt. Yeah. Or we could potentially Wisp the Oko back down to 4, and then Wisp plus Bolt clears it, but then obviously they'll probably have a removal spell. I don't think Daredeviling a Ponder is very useful here. We could Wisp the food token, but they have an Astrolabe 2 Elk. I think we want to just deal 2 damage to the Oko, right? Wisping the food is decent, yeah. It's not useful because I can't cantrip, because I personally just am not able to cast Ponders. Well, we're probably losing to don't make a play until turn 3. They force a will and already have an Oko. We draw Pyroblast, get out of this jam. Pyroblast or Cataclysm. So we try to Ponder towards those the following turn. When we have 4 mana, since we're probably not beating the Oko in much else. I guess we'd probably cast the PNK first. PNK tries to at least put some pressure onto the board. Oh, of course, him hits Direfleet and PNK. We have Landline Bolt Nice. Those are the hymns that I'm used to singing. Cataclysm. Stoneforge Mystic. Not super gonna do it. Certainly. Well, we're gonna go to game 3 here, folks. Grab Batter Skull. Sure. Did you drop your toy back there? Oh, you did. That's why you're bugging me. I mean, we definitely did not give them a lot of pressure. I kept a pretty slow hand, hoping for not turn 3 Oko and hoping to find something, and neither of those things happened. Oh, I'm not F6. Weird. Hey, Lily, it's not playtime. Hey, quiet. Lily, quiet. I don't know what's up with Lily today. She's a Milkbone. I gave her a treat at the start of the stream. That's when I usually give her a treat. Because otherwise I bring the treat into the room with me and she bothers me until she gets it. She needs more now. Council's judgment. Alright, well, we're not dead. Yeah, opponent never lucky. We found our 5 of. Lily, you can't just keep coming over here and dropping your toy and then crying because you can't get it from under the desk. Mess with the bulbous food, probably. We're actually getting pretty low. I'm gonna K-command my batter squad in my hand? Yeah. Lily, hey! I'm gonna mute this for a second because she's just in one of those moods. So now we need to, draw the second PNK? Just F6. What the opponent got here? Second Oko? Black, green. Oh, engineer, sure, yeah. We'll draw Thalia or second Mom. Something solid. Wasteland, pretty good. Pretty good magic card. I'm not playing with you, Lily. You know what? Alright, yeah, now we're dead. Now we draw Cataclysm this turn exactly, right? Into a removal spell. Yeah, I don't really want to show them that we have a second PK in hand. And we're not dead here, but we are at 6 and would have to make some really bad jump blocks to stay alive here, and then are going to die. On the play, I like more Thalias than Moms. Turn 2 Thalia on the play a lot more powerful. Is there anything I would want to go down? Maybe. Could potentially cut the Prelate. They have a lot of like diversified removal spells. We saw Bolt. We saw Assassin's Trophy. We have like Okos and K commands and stuff. So the Prelate probably a little bit clunky. So maybe the Prelate actually like is. It doesn't attack. The Prelate is really bad at attacking into my opponent's deck that just has at least 5 Baleful Strixes in it. But I don't know how I feel about going up on, like, what, more things that die to Plague Engineer? Like, what would I board in? Like a 3rd Mom again? I think we'll just hit Smith here. Yeesh. This is not how you win. Alright, this is a hand. We'll probably just ship the Plow here. We get Pyroblast. Hopefully my opponent will against a 6 here. They do. That's good for me at least. Mull gets to 5. Alright, chat. On a mull to 5, am I supposed to blast a turn 1 Ponder on my 4-color control opponent's mull to 5? Hell yeah? I don't know if it's a hell yeah, because you usually just want black. Because the big thing is, yeah, they're probably going to draw out of it, and I think to recoup card advantage, they want to just like jam an Oko or something, right? And jam a Haymaker. Yeah, if we had Thalia or something, or better mana now, then maybe. But all right, we're just going to cast Stoneforge Mystic here. That it's not like their Oko turn. Should have blasted that. Legal play. If they'd cast like specifically Brainstorm, maybe. Because Brainstorm's like a real sketch thing to just fire off on turn 1. Do I get sort of Fire and Ice here? Or just Batterskull force the removal spell? Just force them to act awkwardly on their roll to 5? Batterskull, we're getting somewhere around there. Sort of Fire and Ice probably looks better. We're probably recruiting P and K. Yeah, sort of Fire and Ice. They probably aren't really acting awkwardly on that turn anyway. Just casting a removal spell on my Mystic. Get to recruit for Pia and Karan with a Karakas in play, which can be very powerful as well. Yeah, that's fair. Try to get through the Baleful Strixes, which your hand is kind of weak to right now. Come on, miss your land drop. They're gonna hit my Recruiter, my Sophie. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, next turn they'll just hit my like Sophie and my. I can just Wasteland plus a Sword here, probably, actually. They shuffled on that Ponder, so yeah, we're actually just wasting the Bayou and putting in the Sword here. We're not quite on the P and K plan yet. If they him me, then like we get to connect with Sword, so not the end of the world. If they don't have more lands, and they always have more lands. Is it him time? Time for the old Turok. Wow. Fucking deal. This means they just get hit by the Sword. And they missed the... Oh, no, they didn't miss Blind Drop. Recruit Revoker for the Astrolabe. I think I did leave one in the deck. Do I ping the Strix or just ping their face? Probably ping the Strix, because Kolaghat's Command shattered my Sword. I think I want to have more pressure available to me. Yeah, if they have Oko, we're fine because we can blast it. If they have K Command, we want to be able to still attack. Don't K Command me. Come on, cast an Oko. Astrolabe. What a jerk. So we just discard, it's Arid Mesa here. It's whatever. Now we get to Recruiter for... What's his... Recruiter for PNK and Hold Up Blast. Potentially we could also, like, use Stoneforge for Batterskull instead if we wanted, but... I think I just like recruiting for PNK. Lily! What's your deal? Yeah, I don't really like tapping out this turn. PNK. We have an answer for an Oko or like a Jace or some bullshit here. Pass the turn. Interesting. We're gonna start the turn by just attacking for 2. They're not going to burn a Snapcaster Mage here, not with K command in hand, so it would have to be, what, Coatl? We could definitely just, like, Wisp the Recruiter and, like, force them to... I don't love just casting the Pia before we have the Karakas up, too, so we kind of want to hit 5 mana for that. I don't hate just, like, Wisping my Recruiter here and continuing to leave up Pyroblast. Adds a bunch to the board. Diversifies stuff for, like, potential Plague Engineer. I think pre-combat Wisp to try to play around Coatl is fine. If they have removals with the Recruiter, that's fine. We're still getting our 3-1 in play. Wisping the Stoneforge and all of that. Because we already have another Stoneforge in hand. Playing the Stoneforge is an option. Play other Stoneforge, get Batterskull, leave up 2 mana. Pop back a Strix here. We can just bolt this Strix to keep up our pressure here. Oh, well, we can't bolt both Strixes. Am I supposed to blast a Strix? Probably not. Watch them Blood Moon me. Hold a tilt. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad, because we could fetch basic planes here. I have 4 cards in hand. I feel like I'm not supposed to blast this. I think I can grind through Strixes with P and K. So if I'm not bolting one, I don't want to bolt the other. Sanctum Prelate. It's kind of interesting. What number would this even go on? 3? We're already insulated against Oko. 3 beats like more K commands out of the yard though, but we have Pyroblast for a Snapcaster Mage, and K command's not that backbreaking right now. I think it might just be time to cast the P and K. If it gets removal spell, it's like kind of fine. I guess we can cast the Stoneforge this turn, right? Get like a Jite. Or just get Batterskull to ram into Baleful Strixes. You just gotta ram into one and we can bolt down the other. So I don't want to fetch first. How many K commands are we really expecting? That's fair. I think it's probably Stoneforge turn. Grab Batterskull. They can't take us off of like red. Although we're also not getting Blood Mooned. So I think until they Blood Moon me next turn, I look like a fool. Do I grab? No, yeah, we just grab the skull. I have to be wary if I tap out for a Batterskull on my end step here. If they have 5 mana, they can just snap K command me, like kill the Force of Will, pitching Uro. If If I blast this, I don't get to tutor. But if I don't blast this, I'm going to pass this turn doing nothing, essentially. I guess I can just attack with the Stoneforge, right? If they trade, I can pull the other Strix and get my Wisp back online. I think this resolves. Maybe I'm sitting on this blast for like just way too long. I was supposed to try to get value out of it earlier. I don't like blasting there because it doesn't let me activate the Stoneforge. Yeah. So this I'm like kind of okay with. So it lets me try to bolt down the other Strix and start getting it with the Flicker Wisp. It's possible the blast was still okay there. This is what we've been waiting. Oh, this is an Uro. I thought it was an Oko. This is not what we've been waiting for. Totally ready for them to Oko me, and we're gonna fucking get them. But yeah, probably not supposed to counter this one. Problem is that they can bring back the Uro if I just leave up Crocus. We could potentially play the P and K, leave up a blast mana to blast the Uro on the return trip. Instead, they have to exile what, 5 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're already able to cast it again the following turn. But at that point, they'll go to 12 here after I attack, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So they're pretty close to dead at that point. Prelate on 3 here? Seems way worse than playing P and K. If I need to deal with this Uro, I need to put pressure on them, right? Which means just casting this P and K and holding up the blast instead of holding up the Crocus. I should have tapped the not subject canyon. It's really obvious I'm holding up something weird here. They're at 11. If I have to blast this Forceful Ray, and then the Uro go to 14. But we can Crocus the Uro, so it's not like the end of the world. They get to gain a bunch of life, but yeah, I gotta... There are 1 card left in hand. If they spend their, like, most of their turn Uroing here, they go to 14, but we can Caracas it, hit them for 5, 6, 7, put them to 6 or something. We'll put Prelate on 3. Decay the Wisp. They can't decay the P and K, notably. And they can't Uro me this turn, so we can just Caracas replay the P and K here. Fuck, never mind. Those are very good last 2 cards for my opponent to have there. Another P and K. Nope. Nope. So now we need to draw Cataclysm, basically. I need to start playing some of these lands. We only have 1 Cataclysm, and there's potential for us drawing our other Recruiter the Guard into something relevant. Five lands is already enough to cast P and K and hold up the Crocus. Sure, of course. I would play lands just so I'm not attempting him target. I think it's fine to get him to this stage of the game. Oku's a 6 loyalty, so just going face. There's a greater chance of us drawing up Higher Blaster at Council's Judgment this stage. Although, we're not winning unless we find Cataclysm, basically. I don't think. It's a possibility something like P&K does it. Yeah, Oku's at its starting loyalty of 6, so there's absolutely no point in ever attacking it. Just attack the face. Hope we draw like the second lightning bolt, and they just like never crack food or cast the arrow. Sure, yep. Plague Engineer Euthopters. Alright, Cataclysm time. I guess we could block and pro green, but he'd easily have a 1-mana removal spell. I think the other way we can survive here is if we draw Cataclysm right now. One, two, three, four, five, 6 mana. We could Recruiter, a Wisp, and Wisp my Recruiter. And go get, like, what, a P&K after that? It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly not going to win me this game. Daredevil does basically nothing. Could deal him 2 damage. We're just going to discard this P&K, so it doesn't actually matter. The off chance they don't have any Hymn to Turok to hit me with. Or Force of Wills. Well, then we can try to get P&K Caracas up. Sure. I'm just going to take this. We got a 5. We're still not in lethal range from another hasty food token. Sure. Sort of like a coatl. That's fine. I think I used the mom here. I think I'd steal it with the Oko. Here with Thopter named. Oh yeah, that's fair. We could throw the vial at the Plague Engineer and pick it up with Caracas again, but yeah, that's probably not a great plan. Six, 7 minutes. Yeah, we'd actually throw the vial at the Plague Engineer with the Thopter trigger on the stack, but we have to tap out for it. It's a very aggressive elk my food. Don't love that. Let's see if I mean trophy my Caracas so I can't redo P&K stuff. Why is there a food on my side? Oh, they are. They did exchange control. Okay, sure. And then this is the Uro. One, two, three, four, five. We're one off lethal right now. Problem is that we have to prevent the Uro from attacking, but if we prevent the Uro from attacking, then they gain 6 life, and they're just so far out of range of me killing them. We hit them for 5 in the air and then throw 2 artifacts at them to put them to 1. We'd also just attempt to fight the long game here and plow the Uro and attack down the Oko. And just, like, throw the food at the mom or something. That might actually have to just be the play here. I mean, they probably have a card in hand to stop me from doing this, but we'll try. I only have a minute left on the clock, so probably not a great plan, but... Sure, yeah, of course. course, the classic follow-up Oko. The Elkin Astrolabe. And start genuinely just pressuring my life total. Oh, they made a food. Sure, Snapcake command me. Why not? Pop the P and K? Pop the Wisp, maybe? So I have to throw a Thopter here to clear this Oko. And then we're just going to like down to the board and the clock, but you know, give it the old college try here. We were one off lethal that turn, which really sucks. Yeah, snap off that trade. Yeah, making the food there really didn't make any sense to me. We're at 9 life. Now we're at 6. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna attempt to trade this food, and I'm probably just gonna kill spell my Flicker Wisp or whatever, but we'll try our best here. Sure. I'm supposed to attack first. Time, but we probably are not going to win this game. Both hellbent here. Opponent kills my thing. We're at half their life. Yeah, not quite going to do it. What are we drawing here? Moto decided not to tell me. Yeah, those games go super long. I always tend to like start making some like minor tactical errors at the end a couple of turns. I wonder if there was a way to have like snuck in that last point of damage. We couldn't because they had the second blocker. They had the Elk as the second blocker, which really sucked because we could have done 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, no, we actually could have done 9 if they only had the Oak as a blocker, right? Because if they declare blocks on the P and K, then I would have to throw artifacts before damage, so I could throw the food for 2, 5 in the air. Recruiter's 8 damage. And if I throw a Thopter, it's only 9 damage because it doesn't get to deal its damage. So close to snatching victory out of the jaws of defeat there, though. Yeah, we'll keep the sand. Actually, I have a 2-drop. Let us play some games of Magic. Not a basic forest. What is this? Infect? Waterloo Grove Ponder. I wish I had a wasteland here. I think this means I'm just slamming my stone. What do I even get? Against Waterlogged Grove? It's gotta be like a creature deck, right? So it's like Infect or like Rug Delver or something. So Jite could just be a fine choice. Sophie seems like kind of bad if they're on Infect. We have a lot of tools to make Jite good, right? We have an active Aether Vial and stuff. I think I also just want to fetch a second basic plains. It's bad if they're exactly Infect. What else is Waterlogged Grove Ponder? It's like some creature deck, right? And Jite's gonna be good. Let's put it on the stack first. See if they counter it. Nope. They can't daze it, notably, which is one of the reasons I was big into just casting it here. What? Yeah, it's bad if they're exactly Infect. What is Jite bad if they're exactly some not creature deck that plays Waterlogged Grove and Ponder? I'll live with my decisions. What do you got over there, opponent? Like a bug deck that slams Oko? What bug deck that slams Oko is playing Waterlogged Grove? Hey, 603 Leb, thanks for the follow. So we could just, like, brainstorm here. Or we just Thalia them. Probably just Thalia them. Loam. Loam's not going to be casting a Ponder on turn 1. So I think I want to be... I guess we could not be putting in the Jite this turn. And if we wanted to like Daredevil and Thalia here, I think I just want to Thalia put in Jite though. Just leave up a fetch land. Yeah, I'll put it in now, so still have the 1 mana here. Yeah, no problem. It's always hard to see everything that's going on all the time, especially if only half paying attention, or it's hard to see the tiny graveyards and stuff. Don't mind keeping people up to date on what it could or could not be. Tundra. It's weird. Definitely a deck that Jite is bad against us for sure. Or for maybe sure. God knows what this Waterlogged Grove is for. Bant Food Chain that just like plays the Canopy Land. Seems like kind of wild. We have yet to see how bad Umezawa's Jite is here. Umezawa Jite is insane. Eat it. Taste it. Taste it, Lunel. Jite unbeatable. I have no idea how I'm going to sideboard for this matchup. Why did they show me the Tundra and then just decide that they weren't going to win this game? Just to like, just throw me off the scent more. 100%. Yeah, no, I'm completely being sarcastic. It could have easily been the Thalia. Or just like their hand was just complete dog shit, I guess, but I don't know. And what the fuck am I supposed to... I guess I'm probably supposed to bring in these Pyroblasts? My opponent is in Oko color, so probably has Oko in their deck. Therefore, Pyroblast good. What else can I infer from cantrips and Bantlands and the Waterlogged Grove specifically? I think this Magus of the... they didn't... Maybe this Magus Moon is okay. If they're not on, like... Astrolabes. I mean, like, they could be Stoneblade. They could be some, like, Bant Stoneblade deck that just has a waterlogged Grove for one reason or another. It's not like a Delver deck, though. And if that's the case, it's probably a slow enough deck that I want Cataclysm. Like, it could be like Bant Foonshade or Bant Alurin or something. Or some deck that I do want to Armageddon in some capacity, like a Stoneblade deck. It's not Infect, right? Because Infect plays the Savannah and not the Tundra. I think this will probably be fine too. Alright, let's board like that. And, I don't know, shave some Swords to Plowshares. Plow sucks against all those decks, except for Alurin. Infect is base green. Yeah, exactly. Do I want more PNKs if I'm leaving the one? I guess we'll just, like, play for some information here. We'll shave a plan? I don't know. We got a minute to... I should cut this Crater Maker, unless they're Banned Blade, in which case I get super punished. God, I don't want to cut any of these cards. Probably actually seems like it sucks against most of the Bant decks that would play Waterlogged Grove, right? Oh, this hand's very bad. This hand is okay. We're gonna bottom the Jita here. We want lands. We can potentially try to Dire Fleet to hit our other land drops. But it goes to 5. Armageddon looking real tasty. Is there a Bant Stoneblade list that played Waterlogged Grove in the deck dump? Shuffle, 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 shuffle. They shuffled. Alright, snap Wastelanding them. Hiya. Wow, what's it like, opponent? I don't think no one's ever. I've never seen a Brainstorm miss before. You never know if it actually is missing or like they actually just do have the other fetch in hand or whatever. But it always feels like because they always cast it before they pay the land drop, even though it's like usually correct. It always feels like they're just trying to find it. And sometimes they don't, but they always do. This Prelate's back from my 7-card hand. I think we're just going to cast Stoneforge Mystic, grabbing sort of Fire and Ice. Kind of scared of a True Name Nemesis, I guess. I should be playing lands cognizant of this casting this Cataclysm at some point, so like I want my Caracas in play and stuff. Like, if they have an Oko here, not a Sure Name or something, then cast Cataclysm is immediately plan A. Put in Store Fire on end step, untap Cataclysm would be the plan immediately. Well, that's spooky. What's my plan to deal with this? Because we can't let them get a trigger. Essentially, I never like looking at my opponent's list string. Like, it's just like not worth the brain power to me. Alright, so they brainstormed and they cast Stoneforge Mystic with a shuffle effect. They did not hit a land drop, so there's a chance. Oh, we just port them, right? Port them, and then they have to tap the Mystic, and then the Noble Hierarch is the 4th mana source. So, although casting this Cataclysm isn't like a great plan by any stretch. Because they would like get to keep like land hierarchy or something before Cradle. Yeah, they would They would. You're just doing it to make some of the stream. Well, the first 3/5 of the stream have been pretty depressing, so you get to maybe have some more exciting games. God, what the fuck is my plan here? I guess if I was gonna port them, I'd be better off just casting the prelate and putting it on 2, right? Because putting prelate on 2 means they would have to activate Stoneforge. It means that they couldn't get in with the GT this turn, and it means that we could potentially connect with our sort of Fire and Ice the following turn. So I think that is maybe actually the play. Because if we can cast a Cataclysm with a prelate holding a sword, that looks a lot better for us. Old one with 10 gallons of milk at Courier. Jesus Christ. Problem is that we're playing into a sword supplier shares the way we did this. If they have just put in GTA and cast a plow, then we get right fucked. 5 cards, man. 5's a lot of cards. I don't really think we didn't really play around it. Could ponder. What are we trying to ponder for? We don't have a ton of answers. Exalted messes up the block, yeah. I'm just gonna go for it. They have plow plus GTA here. We just need to like find an answer to the GTA, which could be like their plow could help us. Oh, messing with a first strike to try to block. Okay, yeah, it's not unreasonable. So we could equip, force them to double ping, and then Daredevil plow the Stoneforge, and then that actually blocks the Hierarch. You could also Daredevil plow the Hierarch and block the Stoneforge, but I wanted to force them to use more mana to re-equip, so... No, that's bad. We pitched an Oko, but... excuse me. It's still bad. Because they get to keep their GTA going. They just have like another Oko. Wow. Uro Blade. What's our plan here? Just sit and wait for a little bit and try to find an answer for this GTA. Wasteland, the Tundra, port the island or whatever. Cast our... Do we even cast our GTA? Probably not, because we're trying to line up a Cataclysm. I think Cataclysm means that like Wastelanding isn't great here. We'd rather hold on to lands, but I think we need to deny my opponent from doing scary things, like casting this arrow again, while we wait for an answer to this GT. We don't have that many. We didn't board on the other Crater Maker because we didn't really know what they were on. We have, like, what? Crater Maker, Council's Judgment. Did I board out the Revokers? I boarded out one Revoker. You could potentially, like, find a removal spell for the Stoneforge, or like just a removal spell in general, in tandem with the Flicker Wisp to, like, try to buy a turn with the GTA off. Wow, some aggressive pumping. Could be good for me if we find... Yeah, so here we might be able to, what? It would have to be Flicker the GTA, it dies, plow the Stoneforge. And they could re-equip over to the Hierarch that turn. What if we plow it this turn, then they re-equip to the Hierarch, and then I flicker it and port them off, maybe? Yeah, actually, I think plowing this turn, port plow, and then casting the Flickers might be better. Especially if they just aggressively pump again. They pass priority to me, which means that there's no other round of priority. They would have dealt damage there, right? Yes, this is fine. This is what they should have done last turn, but they didn't play around me having a plow that turn. Double port's good. Means we need to find a... double port doesn't actually do anything, so we don't have enough mana. Now we need to rip like a creature this turn. Or are we casting it now? Because I don't want them to have GT counters. I'm trying to make a window for us to draw a creature and put a Sword of Fire and Ice on it to prevent this GTA from getting online. Found a land though, which makes my plan decidedly worse. Kind of grasping at straws here, trying to answer a very hard to answer card. Yeah, see, if they didn't have the land there, then we could have potentially had the GTA to put the sword on here. We can go get a Batter Skull for however little that's worth. I might have to put the GTA in play now. I'm going to equip. No. We want to be able to port. We have to play the Batter Skull next turn. If we equip, but they use the GT counters, but they're going to use the GT counters anyway. So I don't think it matters. So I think I'd rather just double port or play GTA in single port. But I don't think the GTA does anything either, because I'd rather equip the Sword of Fire and Ice at any given moment. I don't think this is going to cut it. Yeah, I don't give a shit if you float 2 blue mana. What are you going to do, Snap Brainstorm? Sure. Thumb felt aggressive. Really can't beat a Batter Skull. Brit missed the 6 land to equip the sword to the Batter Skull, which sucks a lot. I mean, they could easily just have like a Swords to Plowshares or something and just plow the German, we lose. But, you know, we've been floundering to try to answer this GTA since like literally turn 4. So, you know, throwing a bunch of resources at it has not stopped now, yeah. They just get to elk it and then they can clear it. So if we block, this thing becomes a 3/4, so there's no point in blocking. Do we need to draw like a Shatter for this GTA and then Cataclysm? Exactly this turn? Pyroblast, just in time. I don't even think I want to show them Pyroblast. We are just dead to this GTA. So now we can actually sideboard here. It was a pretty miserable game to try to claw back into. We need to board in our good cards and board in our bad cards here now. Prelate is medium. Mother's Runes are fine. Revoker's good. Where's my other Revoker? Oh, I brought it in. We're good there. Bolts are better than swords, certainly. Do I want any Swords to Plowshares? I think it's just like 2 lightning bolts. Removal's not generally what you super want against this deck. Maybe Cataclysm isn't great. Yeah, maybe against like the Noble Hierarch version of this deck, you're not Armageddoning them as much. It is important to answer Oko, notably, but we have a decent chunk of Oko answers. I think this Prelate's Moby. Putting on 1 can be powerful though to turn off like their plows and stuff if you have like a solid if you have a solid advantage in the board state. We have like Crater Makers and Bolts and a Sabraid. I really don't think we need plows. We could just cut all the plows and try that. Let's do that. Let's do that for game 3 here. That is a lot of good Magic cards. This is certainly less good Magic cards, but we're okay with it. We'll put back the Caracas here. I doubt we're just going to immediately recruiter up a P&K or something. We don't want to like draw the other Caracas. We only have 2 Caracas in the red version though, so maybe it's okay to put back a Mesa here. We'll immediately draw the second Caracas because of my decisions. My folly. I just want to revoke this Hierarch. We have a lot of tools to like try to beat the Stoneforge part, so slowing them down their mulligan, probably not bad here. We have the Flickerist to like reset it if they go like Stoneforge for GTA or whatever. We have Recruiter for answers to GTA as well. Probably not supposed to trade with this. I kind of want to a little bit. Probably not supposed to. I think I am supposed to cast my Recruiter and go get like a Stoneforge Mystic. It is kind of a locked racer. They played another land. They didn't just like stone die The locked brainstorms are the ones where they cast brainstorm and then miss their land drop entirely and then just fucking die. And it definitely has happened to me before. Definitely more than 0 times. But I was exaggerating because every time whenever they cast it, I would say please don't have it. And they always do. Is the thing. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just recruit like a Stoneforge Mystic for sort of Fire and Ice. Could Daredevil a Brainstorm here, but I don't really see that as being relevant. I'll hit them for 2. Fetch a Plateau here. Wow, they drew 4. Nah, I mean, they brainstormed, but Frostbitch Oko, yeah, we'll take those. If they attack with the Noble, am I supposed to just try to ambush Viper it with this Dire Fleet? I kind of want to. I mean, we're taking the Vile up to 3 next turn. No, we'd rather Dire Fleet off a Brainstorm. We don't care about this 1 damage and getting this thing off the board. We're just going to cast a Brainstorm this turn. Dire Fleet upkeep. I think I just want my Flicker Wisp online, right? That seems like a bad... Don't really care about that much. We'll draw a fetch land, it'll be fine. We'll draw a fetch land and be able to shuffle away our Plateau, right? Low value Brainstorm. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? I think I'd rather cast this Brainstorm than eat their Noble Hierarch. I'm not positive. So we put 2 back, we're going to play a land and a second Aether Vial, I guess. We're going to draw a shit ton of lands here, though, which is not good. And there's this Caracas looming, just like I said. Get better. Yeah, Brainstorm's even worse when it isn't in my deck. Attack me now. They're just missing on so many land drops. Am I just supposed to just get aggro with this Flicker Wisp? I'm a little concerned about Snap trading with Revoker. I think this is holding back a lot of floodgates here. They're 14. We're drawing nothing but lands. I do think we just need to get aggro. We can also flicker their Trop so we can actually play around. Naked Snapcaster Mage here. Even like a bad Brainstorm does, importantly, does give me information on how the next turns are going to look. So the fact that we know we're just drawing dead means I think we do just have to get aggressive here, right? They have nothing. We just get to hit them for 7. And we just start Schadenporting them. Yeah. Even low value Brainstorms are okay. If I hadn't Brainstormed there, I might have just held on to the Flicker Wisp, assuming that I needed to, like, prep for a long game or something. But probably not, because they were just missing land drops there, which means their hand probably was just stacked with white cards. Two on first strike, draw a card, pretty good. Yeah, I mean, bad Brainstorms is still, like, cantrip, which is not bad. Draw a card and show me what this next couple of turns are going to look like, which just means I'm drawing lands. We certainly got there. By the skin of our teeth. Alright. Let's get our pity points here with a 2-3. Hand sucks. Also mulligan to 6. Alright, we'll keep this. We'll bottom the second Thalia here. Chance that the second Thalia is good if they're like a combo deck that Force of Wills or Thoughtseize is the first Thalia. I think there's also much higher likelihood that I get stuck with the second Thalia in my hand. So we just want lands and spells to cast. In before Thoughtseize is my Thalia, and I have nothing. Basic Island Ponder, so not an Astrolabe deck. So like Sneak or something. Some sort of combo is my assumption. I think we're just gonna lead on. No, I was gonna say lead on Arid Mesa. Now we lead on Fetch Vial. Fetch Plains Vial, yeah. Probably not planning on casting this Pink anytime soon. Although I probably don't need to play around Wasteland, so with Pluto Delta Island Ponder. They could be like Blue-Red Delver. It's the one matchup that I would need to be playing around Wastelands here. Fetch around Stifle if they're playing Delver. Well, yeah, I was gonna. Oh, yeah, I guess I wasn't necessarily gonna play the Fetch on turn 1. Also, I don't think I've completely stopped playing around Stifle in 2020. So Blue-Red Delver could be a punish. Although if there's a combo deck, then this PNK is probably not relevant. So yeah, I think it's Plains. If it's a combo deck, this PNK is just not going to be important enough. It could easily just be like Show and Tell or something, but my PNK on turn 4, because I fetched my second red source, less likely to be the make or break point of that game. Well, now we can definitely just cast the Thalia here. Play with the Wasteland here. It's kind of like my white sources. Well, if they are a combo deck, I don't want to tell them that they should not fetch their Volcanic or whatever. But yeah, if they counter this or whatever, it's fine, because we have the second one. It's coming down off a Vial here in a little bit. But the turn 1 Ponder, turn 2 Brainstorm makes me feel like we are just going to get Show and Telled or something here in a couple turns. They draw the other card. It's always concerning when they don't fetch after their Brainstorm. Just like all their cards are super good. Yeah, good combos of players are going to play not fit. But sometimes they like can't, right? Sometimes it's like, okay, if they have Wasteland, then we lose to that. But if you put the Wasteland on the table, it's like, okay, I can't beat this Wasteland, so I have to make other decisions. There are obviously always cases where like spewing that information is incorrect, right? We'll just cast this Crusader. What's happening? You can kill my Thalia? Whoa! Is it just like miracles? Alright. Could be like... I think I'm supposed to just violate the Thalia here in response. I don't gain 2 life, but I... For them casting a 1-drop? Maybe not worth. What 1-drop would they cast here? A Brainstorm. I'll gain my 2 life. And then... Plowing Crusader. Well, I'm going to put in the Thalia now. They wouldn't cast Brainstorm in response to the battle too, yeah. They know their top card, right? No, they just fetched. So they don't. Suddenly, I kind of want to cast my P&K on turn 4. And I can't, because I fetched this basic Plains. You can take up the Vial to 4, which kind of sucks, but P&K is powerful, so not unreasonable. I just put in the Thalia first before I cast the Crusader. Felon 4 always has a use. We just get Nat Terminus. Nice. This is just this is not my day to day. Some days you're just like, you queue up a League of Magic and you're just not gonna win. Your opponents just have your number. I explicitly followed in Thalia because they didn't know the top card of their deck, so we didn't need to play around a Terminus. I'd rather try to cut them off of being able to cast things like a Plow on my Crusader in response to a Vial activation. And then we get Net Terminus. I cast my Goblin Crater Maker and cry on the inside. What are you gonna name? I don't have 4 planes in my deck. Name's planes. Nice. Gotcha, idiot. Not even the correct name. With Splash builds, it's probably just like name a 4-up that you know is in the deck, or like very likely is in the deck, like Thalia or Stoneforge or something. I guess this deck's always going to have planes, but you don't know how many. I already have one in play too. So they're just like blue-white miracles. I was thinking that when they actually played the Ponderon terminal, I was like, I wonder if you're not playing Astrolabe Miracles if you're just on blue-white. It's actually correct to not play Snow Basics, because then you like can have that like tell at the beginning of games. But then you lose the value in other games where you're just like where your opponent doesn't know if they should be playing around like Ice Fang Quaddles or something. But I guess if you don't have green mana, that never matters, right? Alright, I'm gonna burn this Vial, unfortunately. And they ticked up on the Jace. Which means we can't just throw a Thopter at it and kill it. I guess this Stoneforge could get a sword here. I don't really care about holding up the throwing a Thopter at something mana. Problem is now that they're just gonna like brainstorm and set up a Terminus or something. They're not on Mystic Sanctuary mana yet, so I don't have to be super worried about that, but it probably means that like I can't afford to file in the P and K here. Maybe I have to do it anyway and just eat it. Just eat it to Terminus. Regardless. Sure. Because this means not Terminus. Maybe it doesn't. But it does mean that I probably just need to put in this P and K to clear the Jace, though. Sure. Munitions is for their Goblin Crater Maker. Maybe they have a Force of Negation for the sword? Could be. They didn't let me keep Stoneforge, they bottomed a card on the Jace. Guess it's impossible for you guys to know that, though. Well, I will send some number of these creatures at this Jace the Mind Sculptor. Can I kill the Jace through Snap Plow? I don't say anything about what they did with that Jace plus, just that they plussed it. Snap Plow means I would have to throw a Thopter to clear the Jace. I could just send both Thopters into 2-drop, and like I guess the Crater Maker could just crater the Snapcaster or the Vial, yeah. Yeah, the point 2020 is definitely the point where like planeswalkers are powerful enough that they do need a downside, not an upside to creature combat, where you have to like I as the attacker have to suddenly figure out this math now. That's something that's probably never going to catch on though, because it's just like a little bit weird, and just like a rules change, it's like indirectly tries to nerf things. So anyway, if I just send P and K and the Thopters at the Jace, then that should clear. Cratermaker at their face. I'm tired. This is the last match of the day. Combat math is hard. There's probably like Cast Brainstorm and Terminus Me or some bullshit. Sure. So if they do have Snap Plow, I assume they plow the P and K. We throw the Vial at the Jace and just go to blocks. If they block the Snapcaster and the Cratermaker, sure, because the Cratermaker just would trade with it anyway. I guess they just Snap Plow and then move to block. Try to move to blocks, right? Do I care about that? No, not really, right? If they block the P and K and plow like a Thopter, then we could just chuck a Thopter instead. Or plow the Cratermaker, that's the same trade. Shouldn't we throw the Vial at the Snap? Yes, we could. That is a line. No, not the way that we attacked, we can't. Because we're only dealing at 2 damage then, because they plow my P and K. Because we push 2 damage, yeah. Something, combat math, Planeswalker's Nightmare. So... I don't know how much of a spew of resources this is, right? I guess we get to keep our 2-2 around. They're going to kill both our 2-2s this way, because they're going to block one and plow the other. I mean, yeah, I can let the trigger resolve, yeah, but... I guess they might just cast the plow right now. They're unlikely to, but... So I don't think do I want to let them move to blocks? Trying to move to blocks here. I just go to blocks. They block the Snapcaster, plow the P and K. We throw the Vial at the Jace. I think is fine. Crater making that they're gonna plow the P and K. There's no other plow target. They have to give me a priority if the trigger resolves, but like we have priority now. We're about to go to blocks. The trigger has sufficiently resolved. I don't think there's a world I just let them block here, right? Because they're just gonna block the Crater Maker, because they're always gonna plow this P and K. And if I yeah, I just let them block and then throw the Vial at the Jace when they try to plow the P and K here. Oh, they're plowing before blocks. Alright, well. Yeah, so if I had sent everything at the Jace, then I could have thrown the Vial at the Snapcaster instead. It kept it 2/2 instead of trying to deal an extra 2 damage. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, it's late and I'm tired, and we've got a pretty demoralizing league today. But it's probably correct to just send all at Jace and let it absorb 1,000,000 damage. Play the sword here, just to not overextend. Force a wall. Force a negation. Deprive. Wow, they are in on the Mystic Sanctuary plan, huh? Alright. Opponent is going deep on Mystic Sanctuarying people. We're playing some fucking wild deck lists today. Oh, they're just gonna put the Terminus on top. Cool. Put the Ponder on top. Wow. They just don't care about this board. Yeah, playing bad, like playing Deprive in the format that actually just has Counterspell in order to like try to deprive lock people with your Mystic Sanctuary seems like aggressively bad. This board doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know, it kind of matters. The top card is a Ponder. Go get him, Chief. Suppose I could have wastelanded the Sanctuary there. I don't even know what's happening. What on God's earth are they casting here? I'm sure. Sphinx's Rev wouldn't have been surprised. They're like back to basics me here. Get me good. We'll die horribly. Well, what are you doing? It's not allowed. How do you even get that? Cat's knocked a little thing under the door. Porting blues, they can double cantrip Jace. Obviously playing around Snap unexpectedly absent. I just cast this Mom and hope to not get Terminus. I think if I get Terminus, I'm losing this game, so yes. Right, when I put Terminus on the stack, I think I will concede because I am very tired. Alright, well, I didn't put Terminus on the stack, so that's a plus. Certainly. Whew. What you got, opponent? Something? Anything? Like plus the Jace. 2. Sure, Mystic Sanctuary is Terminus now. Do they have a Brainstorm? They've only cast one Brainstorm. Why Mystic Sanctuary? Okay, now yeah, we're getting portented. Why Mystic Sanctuary and then Brainstorm with the Jace? Don't you see more cards the other way? And you're like always gonna put the Terminus on back on the top of your deck? But yeah, now we're getting a Terminus, and we gonna die. All right. This was a weird looking game for a long time. All right, some interesting cards to bring in here. I think with bolts in our deck, we can just cut all of our plows against like mentors and stuff. Revoker's pretty weak. Yeah, we randomly just have a lot for this matchup. Boarded rip. I mean, they aren't deprives to Mystic Sanctuary me, so it's like not unreasonable to want to rest in peace them. So this is 60 right now. Things we could cut: extra moms, Revoker, a wasteland. I could see like this. Yeah, this looks okay. Very scared of back to basics in this matchup, I imagine. It's a card I absolutely don't want to see. And double wasteland hand, but still keep because we have Aether Vial, which is very busted in this matchup. It's the struggle between like trying to fetch sources to actually cast my red spells and also trying to be able to handle it back to basics. Like, am I supposed to fetch planes here? I think I am. We don't. Although I guess we boarded in a ton of red cards. We have what? 3 Pyroblast, 2 Bolts, a Direfleet Daredevil, 2 PNKs. Is that it? In terms of red sources? Second Aether Vial. I think we just play second Aether Vial now, but yes. Obviously. Prior to that. We don't have a bunch of capitalisms in our deck, so it's not like as much of a consideration to like not play the second vials and stuff. And I think we just want to play vials to be better against like disenchant effects on the first vial. I think I'm tapping my wastelands to cast like a GTA. I guess I don't need to cast Revoker. We could cast GTA. We could just fetch Plateau and cast a Stoneforge Mystic though. If we get back to basics though, then that's just really bad. Could just fetch Plains and cast Stoneforge. Could also just cast GTA. I mean, casting GTA and then also getting back to basics there isn't much better because we're just down all of our lands, right? The way to play around a back to basics here would be to just fetch the basic planes. I don't think you're beating back to basics with this deck. I don't know. We'd be back to basics with this hand, certainly. With a bunch of Aether Vials, if we have like a little bit of mana. I wouldn't tap Plateau. Yeah, I would fetch basic planes if I'm tapping it this turn. You can also blast it. Yeah, but I mean, we need a blast and a red source for that. Neither of which we currently have. So I'm trying to play around not just an ethereal back to basics in the matchup, but a back to basics that is on the stack next turn. I don't think you need to cast anything. It's another line, I suppose. I don't love that line, though. I'll fetch a Plains and cast a Stoneforge Mystic. GTA is loaded impact. Yeah, if I was casting a spell this turn, I think it would be the Stoneforge. I think the GTA off of 2 Wasteland plan is as bad against back to basics as fetching a plateau and tapping that. I don't understand why you guys all want to cast GTA over casting a Stoneforge here. I need to get through their shit eventually. I don't want to just like put one creature into play every turn. Oh, we get Containment Priested. Nice. Glad I accidentally made the right play of cast my creatures. Eat it, chat. I'm the genius now. Now we draw Bolt. Now we drew the Plateau. Easy. So now we just cast this Stoneforge. Do I cast anything else here? We just cast a Revoker 2. Starting to think that they might have not forced the Vials, yeah. They 100% have force? No, 100% is correct. They could definitely have force of will, certainly. Just figuring if I want to add more to this board today. I feel like I kind of do. Kind of need to. I mean, we're not necessarily eating into Jace there if we don't. I guess if they like bounce the Stoneforge, maybe we could potentially cast the GTA and like equip to the Stoneforge or something, and at least clear the priest, and then we'd have a vial to vial the Revoker in. Now they back to basics me. This match sucks. This league has been less than ideal, I would say. Not a small part of that is my own fault. Streaming late. Being very tired. No, we are 1 and 3 at the moment. Very far away from 3 and 1. So we just pass here with Batterskull, I guess. It's very late. Yeah, it's 12:30. But I don't have work in the morning. I have work in the afternoon, so I didn't really care about streaming late, but my brain does. Predicting me. Sure. We didn't play this again. You need like Thalia here, right? They didn't Plains and hit a Thalia. Fuck. I'm so good at this game. Absolutely should have named Thalia there. Thalia or Port. Yeah, Port's another valid name. They'll just attack here, completely forget about the Batterskull in my hand, and then also not have any removal. Like, I'm supposed to put in the Batterskull here, right? If they know the Batterskull's here, it's either going to get killed now or get killed on their end step or something. If they're punished to trying to eat this Containment Priest, Lily, quit it. They're just going to disenchant the skull or unexpectedly absent the skull or plow the germ token. Yeah, sure. Now we draw a land, we try to, or we try to GTA down the priest or something, or draw a land and get sort of fireness online. That attack just did not feel necessary. It probably means that they just have plows and shit in hand, but this recipe does not look very good right now. I'm gonna fucking try it. Cool. Brainstorm, land, Jace. They didn't know about the GTA. Yeah, they did not know about the GTA. The GTA was natural. We played 2 Stoneforge this game and they found Sword and Batterskull. They didn't know about the GTA. They could have easily been playing around me ripping a land though. They knew I had 4 lands and a sword in hand though, so having the plow would make sense. Like not attacking their signaling that they have a plow makes a lot of sense because it means they're not scared of me ripping a land, right? I don't think there was a world where they didn't have a plow, in which case maybe I should have played around it. I think it's time to rest in peace them. They have 3 islands now. And also we can't really do anything else. Do a Flicker Wisp, but Flicker Wisp gets to pick up equipment if we want. They didn't Jace me. They did just Brainstorm, Crack Delta, and say go. So we're probably not getting Jaced. Can't Flicker Wisp and Rip in the same turn. Can't Rip and Sword of Fireness in the same turn. Rip would be our whole turn, but we're also at 17. Yeah, I think the Rip is the play. Pretty concerned about just getting like Mystic Sanctuary out of this game. They've been through 3 Swords to Plowshares. Problem is that we now need to try to beat Termini, which is also pretty problematic. If we want to take these vials up to 4 and 3 in case we draw P and K, we get like Flicker the Containment Priest and a vial and a P and K. Yeah, a bunch of Snapcasters for plows, definitely a reason we want to like rip here. Even if they like blow up the rip or something, we get to kill 3 plows here. They counter this? Protect themselves, sure. They finally cast a non-blind predict. Null Snapcaster Mage, that tracks. Snapcaster Mage looking less good when we resolve this. Rest in peace. But casting Wisp there would have looked really stupid in the face of the Snapcaster Mage, obviously. Something we're trying to be cognizant of. I think I'd want to take these vials up to 4 and 3 next turn, for the exact reason of if we drop P and K to just unload on the board. They didn't shuffle on the ponder though, so I might like not even want to go that hard on the board since the Terminus is the card we're most worried about now. I think I'm just supposed to cast Flicker Flicker Wisp, untap like a plateau, port them. I don't think equipping the GD does anything here. Just hard cast a Force Wall on this. Yeah, sure. They have more lands if we cast Cataclysm, because we know they have some number of Mystic Sanctuaries in the deck. And they probably have like one Tundra. Portent themselves. We're gonna draw the fucking P and K with the basic planes that I fetched on like turn 3 or whatever. Well, I'm not casting this. We just have to beat a Container Priest over the course of 7 turns or something. Guess I keep Plateau. But hang on, I gotta float all my mana first, because I probably want to cast this Aether Vial. Am I keeping the Jite because this Container Priest makes my Vials bad anyway? And because we're getting another Vial. Keep Plateau so I can cast like a red card that I draw like a Dire Fleet. Assuming this resolves, obviously. If you cast Cat of Temple Colors before White, it'll float. Did not know that. It was an okay one. We still need to find lands and something to deal with this Flicker, or deal with this Container Priest. Yeah, a Bolt would be nice, certainly. Or just like lands and a Thallium or something. They kept up planes. They have like the 4th plow here. Hell, D&T deal that you do. You'd be surprised. They're probably gonna like fucking cast a Snapcaster Mage here. No attack, alright, I'll take it. I'm not gonna cast this. 4th plow. Yep. That makes sense. Might have also kept the planes because they knew that they had this at their island. I'm like a tiny bit surprised they didn't want to port it to me, but I guess that doesn't matter because we're not like 3 turns away from dying. Alright, we just need a land. Just need a land as my opponent hits all of their land drops. Do they have enough lands to like cast a Jace here? Don't think so. I think this Flutter Train might only... If they don't have any Tundras... Both lock to draw the Revoker we kept over a land. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna take this Vial to 3. 0 Tundra does sound pretty nuts. Maybe they just like don't have a Jace to cast here. Because they definitely would have just like fetched a tapped Sanctuary here. They're really good at hitting a bunch of land drops post Cataclysm. I expected like a couple, but not every single one. It's not bad. When am I supposed to bolt this now so they can't hardcast Force? I shouldn't take my file up to 3. Didn't think about drawing bolt. This will make us feel sad about our battle for longer. Yeah, exactly. I'm bad and tired. Definitely should have kept it on 2, because like if we're drawing a 3, we're not going to be able to violate it anyway, because this Containment Priest just won't attack into my Thalia. So it's definitely like way too preemptive when we're drawing to potential removal spells to clear the Priest. They're going to force will this. Unexpectedly absent. Oh man, if we had a 3-drop, if only. But we don't. So now we can't put in our Thalia before. Come on, let's draw a 3-drop because they're not putting it in. Yeah, well, we need to cast this Thalia at least. Hardcast Force. Whatever, we got a Stoneforge. We got more tools to reload with now that we hit our second land drop here. I think they might have one Mystic Sanctuary as the last mana producing land in their deck. It resolved, and they are stone cold out of Swords to Plowshares. It's like another unexpectedly absent. Yes? Wow. Alright, sure. Do I want to shuffle away that Thalia? I don't think I do. Yeah, at this point, this is a very expected absence. They do have the predict combo. They've burned through 2 predicts, haven't they? They can't have that many more. I think I'm going to leave the Thalia on second from the top of my deck here and not search on this. This is game 3. No, this is game 2. My opponent's just been taking like 80 years to kill me. We're not that much better though. We're only 2 minutes up on clock. Luckily, if we win this game, then we probably don't need to play a game 3 because they have 4 minutes. I just like don't want to flash in this Containment Priest that they put back in their hand. They know my last card is Sword of Fire and Ice. Like, they're trying to get me, but as soon as I activate this Vial, they just get me with the Priest. They might have a Sweeper. Ooh, I can Wasteland this Tundra, turn them off of double white forever. Or maybe not forever. Luminous think they have 2 Tundras. Am I just equipping and attacking into a Snapcaster Mage? We get 2 counters on GT, which isn't bad. Two counters on our GT means that we get to kill the Containment Priest later. They have something like Snapcaster Mage. Incoming Path. Get absolutely dunked. Disenchant the Rip. Interesting. They're down all their plows, so I don't know how much I care about that. Turns on like another Mystic Sanctuary. Sure. They don't have enough mana to snap Disenchant here. Alright, I think I'm just gonna attack into this. I'll gladly kill a Containment Priest here. then they also just flashed in that Katana Priest to die. What in the... Yeah, I don't know why they didn't disenchant the Jite. Thalia's back. Thalia's getting... Okay, now they're gonna snap disenchant the Jite, but now I just get to kill the Snapcaster with the Jite too. Just gotta kill 2 of their creatures, and I'm at 8 life. This seems way worse than just disenchanting the Jite and leaving the Rip in play. This is not Jace. Sure, post-board counterbalance. We draw like a 3-drop creature. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I get to cast my sword here. Alright, nice. Ducked right underneath that Force of Will. That'll be good next turn. I don't think my opponent is aware that they could sideboard out their bad cards. Lethal next turn. If they don't have a 1 on top of their counterbalance. I guess we just know we just get a Vial in the Pia and throw an artifact at them. I don't want to kill them. They don't want to keep burning their clock. Oh no. Oh no. They got us. They didn't terminus the Thalia though? They portented that and decided to let me hit them first. I'm just gonna say go. I don't think there's a way that they can win this game. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. They have 2 minutes on the clock. I have lethal, and I'm fairly confident that they can't stop it. I can cast a Whisk. I don't want them to concede because I have lethal in play. Chase the Mind Sculptor, alright. You got 1 on top, opponent? They got 2 on top, got him. They're gonna win game 3? They have 1 minute and 45 seconds on their clock. So if they want to keep playing this game, then... Not even confident they can kill me anymore. counter. They can't counter anything. We have a P&K and 2 artifacts that are already in play. They will die at our whim. Oh, cast a bolt and make them counter it. They think about casting a cantrip and decide not to. I'll cast the bolt later. Yeah, they might F6 through the bolt anyway. Oh, there's another Jace. Alright, I probably have to kill them soon. But they're brainstorming, never mind. What if it's Thassa's Oracle? Then we just kill them with the P&K. They're at 1 life. Oh, there's an intrigue. Alright, fine. Oh, they have like a second Container Priest that we got. Oh, I should have let them cast the intrigue first. That's true. Alright, never mind. They're just dead. We're killing them. Yeah, I should have definitely let them cast it. I got scared that we were actually gonna die for a second. And we did it! Got our pity points. Attack the Jace! Actual worst way to win ever, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely the worst way to end my fucking 2-3 league. By F6ing my opponent when I literally have lethal in play for like 6 turns. Hey, if my opponent wants to dick around with their clock, they can't. Your opponent's free to concede at any time. That's all I'm gonna say. Cancel me on Twitter for this. Go for it. I deserve it. All right. Instead of doing a recap, I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm tired. Let's find someone to host. I will still host someone. Who's streaming Legacy? Is anyone streaming Legacy at this hour? Control F, Legacy. Wait, there's 2. I see. Oh, Romario, yeah. He streams after me a lot. We'll go host him. Anyway, / host Romario. Vidal. How's Red White D&T performing at the moment? Not great today. We had a very bad league. I do think that, like, in all of our matchups, I felt like I liked the Red Splash just made our deck better in those matchups. We just, like, we just had an off day. Just kind of got, like, pounded by just whatever we were playing against. A lot of, like, Stone Cold Perfects and Blind Terminuses and stuff. Like, all right, I said I wasn't going to recap because I was tired, but now I'm going to recap because I want to talk about Red, White, Death, and Taxes. So what did we play against? We played against... God knows in round 1. It was a million years ago and I've already forgotten. We played against that nonsense post deck. Nonsense green post. We played against check pile nonsense. We played... Oh, it was basic force. Yeah, we played against the Elves round 1. Check pile, Bant, Blade, and just Stone Cold Blue-White Miracles. In all those matchups, I felt like I enjoyed having access to the Red Splash. More than not, because it's just a bunch of blue decks and Pyroblast is insane. Yeah, Pyroblast is like the best it has been in a very, very long time. I don't know what happened to the meta post breach, but they're just like fair blue garbage everywhere. And I think that just having Power Blast in your deck definitely helps you out a lot there. Played Dreadhorde in the sideboard. I did think about it when I was looking at dumb red creatures to violin. Yeah, it's a ton of Oko piles. We played against like what 3 today? Bantblade. Oh no, Blue Eye Miracles. Not an Oko pile, notably. But check pile, Bantblade. I guess elves and like weird green post. Goblin Sharpshooter. Anyway. But yeah, like I keep saying, and then I keep like losing. Like it does feel like the red splash is making my matchups better in all the matchups that I'm playing, but I am just also like playing poorly and things aren't lining up in the best ways. So the deck hasn't had any stunning results, but I haven't been deterred from keeping on with it. Because I haven't like hit matchups where I'm like, God, okay, this Red Splash is actively horrible, and I just don't want it in my deck. Also, because I haven't played against Delver for like fucking 20 matches or something since I started messing with this deck. I'm definitely not. What part of it I imagine is the intricacies in managing the mana base have definitely probably cost me percentage points across the board on when you're supposed to fetch what. Delver should theoretically be on a downswing, yeah. As much of a downswing as something like Delver can go on, I suppose. Anyway, now I'm actually going to log off because I said my piece on red taxes. Good night, everybody.